Hey all, welcome to Reforged Armies. Have you ever wondered how some painters can complete a really detailed Black Templar Space Marine, particularly the new Primaris Crusaders, but in record time? I'm here today to show you, hopefully, a speed painting method that delivers high quality results without the stress. Alright, let's jump into it.
Let's get this quick paint video started. Any quick paint starts with a really good dry brush. If you've checked out my other videos, Slap Chop Ultramarines, I started out with a really heavy dry brush with a lot of white. This one is just going to be a really light dry brush with Mechanicus Standard Grey. All we want to do is pick out those edges. We don't want to overdo it and end up having too much grey. You can see me, of course, flailing around here with my large dry brush trying to do the circular motions. However you want to do it, up and down, completely fine. My model still turned out really well. This highlight's going to be really important to give the model some starting depth. And now we're going to move on to our wraith bone. We're going to do both the cloth parts and the shoulder pads wraith bone. We're going to apply this wraith bone really thinly, water it down, and get really thin, even coat. We're going to do multiple coats. Importantly, when you're doing multiple coats, we want it to dry in between both coats. Once we're happy with our wraith bone, let's move on to lead belcher. It's a really simple color. We're going to capture the chest eagle. We're going to do the weapons. We're going to do the belt buckles, the grenade. We're going to do lots of the backpack. I've chosen lead belcher. Games Workshop has lots of different metallic colors, and there's lots of different colors outside of Games Workshop. You can see here that I've decided to put a fair bit of metallics on the back. However you want to do it is completely fine. We're going now on to Mephiston Red. Now you can choose red, you could choose maroon, I often see yellow. Whatever accent color you want to go for, perfectly fine. At the end we're going to tie everything in with a wash anyway. So I'm moving on now. I've got Rhinox hide for the leather belts. Again, 2 coats, all you need. I'm going to put a wash on it. You can see that we've painted this model in a single session. So we're going to need to go back and fill those details, particularly the wraithbone details, when the first lot has dried. Let's get out our Cabalite Green, hit the eyes and the power cord. Again, I like Cabalite Green because the pigment's quite heavy and it pops. You can choose any color you really want to go for. And when we're happy with that, we're going to move on, get out our Uthwan Grey. Now you can see that I've done a lot of layers here of my wraith bone, and that Uthwan Grey is really just to finish off the shoulder pads to turn them from a bone color to a white color. Grey is a lot easier to work with than a pure white. Because the wraithbone coverage is so even, thin your Uthwan Grey down, just apply it. Of course, if you make any mistakes, we're just going to fix the black anyway. You don't have to be too careful. So far, we've covered about 20 minutes. If you're batch painting this, you are absolutely slamming through your models. You could do 10 of these really quickly. It's a really easy to follow paint scheme, and the finished product looks really good on the tabletop. I've painted all of my Crusaders. I really need to get some more Primaris Crusaders, but I've painted all 20 of them this way. This guy ironically was already half painted because I got so excited about it, really to bring you this tutorial. We're going to move on now to Skeleton Horde. Now again, the cloth parts, I've chosen Skeleton Horde. You can definitely just choose Agrax Shade for easiness. I've liked Skeleton Horde. We're going to do 2 layers of Skeleton Horde to really give that cloth some depth. Then we're going to get out our Nuln Oil to put all over the metallic parts. You can see the model's really starting to be a lot more cohesive now that we've put the wash in. Looks really great on the tabletop. I really think for any speed paint, finish it with a wash and then we'll pop a few highlights. We're going to cheat, make sure the eye's drawn to these parts. For the base, we've just got an Armageddon Dust by Games Workshop. I'm really getting on board the Games Workshop texture paints lately. They come out really evenly, and again, we're going to put an Agrex Earthshade wash on this one. We're going to come out with a really easy, nice finished product you can do across your whole army. We're now just going to go into a couple of extra little details. So we want to pop the cloth by adding a little bit more flat wraith bone, real fine detail, and just catch some of those edges to raise that color up. When we're finished that, we're going to get back out our Mechanicus Standard Grey, and we're just going to add a couple of dabs onto the highest points of the armor, again, just to make sure the eye is drawn to those directions. It really will help it all tie together. Since this is a speed painting tutorial, why don't we do a speed base? We've already got some great texture from the Agrellan Earth. We're just going to go over it with Agrex Earthshade now to put some depths in there, and we're going to finish it off with a dry brush of Wraithbone. The real finisher is Gamer's Grass Tufts, which make any army look really quickly very cohesive and the basing really pop.
And there you have it. We have fully painted a Black Templar Crusader Marine in under 2 hours. From our undercoat bold black armor to our desert Armageddon style base, this mini is ready to march onto the battlefield, or if you're like me, sit proudly in your display shelf. To me, speed painting doesn't mean sacrificing quality. With the right techniques like dry brushing, clever use of details, we can create a stunning model without spending days on it. If you've enjoyed this video, click on the next one to see how I tackle another Warhammer favourite. My favourite so far is Slapchop Ultramarines. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. And thank you so much for watching.